Ladies and gentlemen, we are here for the finale. After this finale, we just have one thing to say. Exactly. Yes. Round of applause. Round of applause. I was waiting for you guys to watch this episode. And now, Jake, can you understand what I was saying this entire episode? Avengers! Assemble! Save him! Save him! What are you doing? Just look at Shang-Chi! I know he's in San Francisco, but this dude can get on a freaking plane. Come on!
No, not even just that. Bruh, Kate, your ex stepfather, help him!
Bro, like Spidey, legally we can't do that, but like whatever, like you know.
Well, the rest of the defenders, where the fuck are you at? Well, I guess maybe we'll see, but we'll see. But yeah,
right. But like the whole time, like you see my reaction to it, I was just like yelling, like, "Yo, the entire New York City is in martial law." Like the implications of this, right? We're getting into Thunderbolts, right? Immediately into this, right? And I'm like, how is this going to like impact the entire rest of the MCU that New York is in martial law after the traumatic, cliffhanger, realizing that again, it was Vanessa who was the one that hired Bullseye to kill Foggy. And
really, the air quotes. I saw that.
Yes.
Look. The reason he's doing the air quotes is because everyone noticed a certain number in the first episode that correlates to a storyline where similar things happened and Foggy got killed, but it was a fake out and he was still alive. And Foggy's actor has been confirmed for season 2, but we'll see how that goes there.
Right, but I'm not even going down that route. But I'm just saying, hey, nobody dies. But and in this case again with Punisher and Daredevil reunion, after coming from that episode in episode 4, I believe, that we're seeing John Berthal return, but this one here we see him return in his full glory.
Was here and then left the premiere and then came back this same episode. I understand she's been gone like the entire time. Meanwhile, in between last time we saw Punisher, he's like, "Oh yeah, I gotta go shave for the accountant. I'll be right back."
Right, shave for the accountant. But first, I gotta shave this off, but I have to grow my beard back. So it's like, and then because he had to do that for the accountant, and then the shave for the accountant, then he had to shave the top and grow his beard for the Odyssey, with Christopher Nolan. But anyway,
he's in a lot.
You're right, exactly. This dude is busy. But honestly, again, I think for this episode, for kind of ending off the way it did ambiguously in terms of like, okay, now the fisticuffs are off. Again, martial law is here. Wilson is now like completely in power. There's been a mass ride of the police force now going into, hey, we're taking out these vigilantes by any means necessary. No body cam footage, no nothing. Use lethal force if you have to, but also government officials, in terms of having their leverage backing, Kingpin in this, as he's in the state of creating, potentially Fisk Tower, his estate, whatever that he'd be making.
I have been awaiting this because it's like all the seeds that have been planted over these 9 episodes leading up to here. I knew where this was going, and the moment that we got to martial law and certain moments within this finale, just Daredevil and Punisher facing off against the anti-vigilante task force and preserving the life of Officer Cole North, which comic readers why, as well as just Fisk like capturing all these officials, basically doing whatever the hell he wants and putting it into the state that it is. I knew where this is going because this is straight up adapting like the like within the last 3 years event Devil's Reign, where he did the same thing, and made vigilantes and superheroes basically outlaws in New York and hunted down by his vigilante task force. So me seeing the seed plants for that over these last couple episodes of just Fisk getting his way, despite the fact that many people know who he is and his checkered past from the last 3 seasons of Daredevil, despite the fact that people have seen him do some crazy things. He has too much power. The moment that he was put into the seat of mayor of New York, everyone was screwed. Like, you gotta just see it. Like, everyone was screwed. The moment you gave him the seat, there was no going back. And honestly, at this point, like, now, it's just do or die. Season 2, I know 100%, like, adapting Devil's Reign to some capacity is gonna be do or die, because it's like there's not much you can do. You either gotta stop him by any means necessary, which is what Karen and Matt and everyone else that they're going to be assembling, that we've seen in this season and that we haven't seen in a while, though we might see in the next season. It just has me so excited. But just outside of that, this entire season has just been great, despite the fact that, again, the first episode and the last 2 were from the new directors, while everything else is before the creative overhaul. They still were able to tell a very neatly woven story about what love does to somebody, what it makes them do, even turning them corrupt, and how, as Fisk said, like, politicians, crime lords, it's all the same thing, just 2 sides of the same coin, and really showing it, because it's like, this is the same stuff he was able to do as the Kingpin, but just to a bit more of an extreme state, because he's mayor of New York City. And it's just a worse seat now, because instead of being a criminal that people know, it's the criminal that you put in your office. It's the criminal you trust for the future of your children, for your future, for the future of where the city could be in the next 10 to 20 years. You put him in that seat. And because of that, now everyone has to deal with the devil sitting in that seat. Mm-hmm. And it's just crazy to see, like, all of that, with what he's doing, with what Vanessa's doing, with what's being seen and not seen, what Matt and Punisher and Muse and all those connections throughout these episodes. Even the one that people would probably say is filler, the bank heist episode with Kamala Khan's dad, all of that still had a purpose. Every single moment that we've seen, even with it being stuff from the old way the story was going to go to where the new is, has purpose. And I commend these writers and this creative team for doing this, because Jesus Christ, I have not felt this way in a while about Marvel television. And this has ignited something in me when it comes to the show. Like, I can't praise the show enough, both writing wise, acting wise, setting wise, tone wise. Like, everything had a purpose for everything, especially within these last 2 episodes, color wise and decisions and everything like that. But yeah, I just can't say enough. Like, this show is insane, and I am impatient for season 2 now.
Yeah, because season 2 is shooting right now, and I think around this marks like the 10th anniversary of when the first season of Daredevil.
Yeah, because Charlie put out a video saying that today, with this finale, is 10 years and 5 days from when Daredevil first premiered on Netflix, from when his journey as the Man Without Fear started.
Yeah, and so we know that it's not going to be a long wait until season 2, because season 2 will come out next year. So we know this entire season to me was a setup season, but I don't take it as a negative. However, I'm just going to acknowledge, like, there was people who have like pushback with this show, saying that, the terms of this show feeling a little bit slow, and not in terms of the pacing compared to like the original Netflix shows. But I feel that, again, this is kind of, we talking about with directors of these final 2 episodes, which again were the best ones. And to me, I think I still said it, to me, this is my favorite Marvel Disney Plus show to date. Even, besides, Loki, besides, WandaVision and everything, this is my favorite show. And I think because I think this is my favorite looking show from Marvel television and Disney Plus that they have done, and I hope that they continue this type of tone, or if not the tone, at least just in terms of cinematography, through all of their television. Again, and I keep saying this, but like, we know when you try to put budget onto something and make it look glossy and cheap, and then when you actually are letting the camera speak for itself, right, and then creating the sense of tone and atmosphere with the cinematography that you have, right. I love the show. I thought this show was beautiful, and I hope again Marvel listens to it. But going into at the end of this episode, again, now we're all the events that transpired. Kingpin killing the police commissioner guy and everything, the most graphic way possible.
Oh my god!
Like
Oh
most
my
graphic
God.
way possible.
That like we've seen Kingpin smash someone's head into a car door. We've seen him do nasty shit before, but now I understand why Vincent D'Onofrio said that it was gonna get even worse. He was correct.
Right. So, and also in terms of how this episode ended, that Punisher, even though he might have been captive, he wasn't going to be there long. Yeah, he got out, which I don't know if the Marvel presentation is going to be set immediately right after this show, or it's going to be right after season 2. I hope not. I hope it's like its own adventure, beyond this storyline. It's the way that in season 2, it's connected.
I honestly hope that like there's two ways I can see it being. Either it's going to be immediately after he breaks out and it'll show us where he is like before, I don't know, maybe he makes an appearance in season 2, or it could even be in between the 4th episode and the finale, like what he was doing before Karen called him. It could be that too.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope they don't try to take it out of the timeline. I want us to move forward with this character, and in the terms of where we are in the MCU and stuff like that. So now, how that's going to affect the overall story, like in terms of where they're heading to, like speaking with Spider-Man, how this is not going to affect him, and if they don't resolve this in season 2, with like Spider-Man Brand New Day, because this involves him, and again, your mass vigilante. We got a brief mention of him in this season. The implications of this, I don't know, because like this is my thing. This show solidified that this is we're finally have Daredevil in New York like you've never seen before, but now it's like you in martial law that affects everything in terms of movies related, which is why like I don't know, I gotta see Thunderbolts to see like, hey, are you gonna mention it?
Again, I feel like if anything, again, as I said, I feel like Thunderbolts, it most likely is going to be right before. But in terms of Spider-Man Brand New Day, which again, that comes out after Doomsday, and will definitely lead into Secret Wars and all that. But still, it's like in terms of that, if they don't resolve this before season 2 happens and before everything Doctor Doom is about to do, then I mean, who knows? Maybe this could. I mean, who knows? Maybe parts of this story will take cues from Daredevil and show what Spidey's up to during martial law, the whatever. If they give it a new name, and it's not just the Safe Streets Act or whatever, but maybe it might show it. That's for us to see. Right. We only know the name right now of that movie, so
yeah, no. So I mean, we'll see how that goes though. But in terms of how this show, well, I think again, people criticism for this show was for me was a strength was how Matt and Wilson Fisk was in this show from in the season 1 to get some where they are in season 2 or in this finale, is that you have to understand we've done Daredevil versus Kingpin before. This is people who are seasoned now in their career, knowing who each others are and like in their nature, and now we're having a point of like they're both in different positions of their life where they know he's hanging up the mask, he's trying to be in political power, but at the same time, people that are rejecting their own nature to go right back to where they started, right? Again, there's a yin and yang with those two characters, but I felt, again, to me, I thought it was interesting because, again, it just shows something new of like, okay, like, yeah, Daredevil versus Kingpin. We've seen it. We have at least 3 or so seasons of it. And, with Netflix, it's like, that's my thing where people are playing like, yo, would you expect? Would you wanted them to do again with this exact same thing of Daredevil versus the Kingpin? No, like there gotta be some other factors that add to this and stuff. So, but for me, I thought that it was good. But in terms of this entire show, what would you give like in terms of letter grading?
Letter grading, probably. God, I'm gonna give it a high mark, but I'm not gonna give it an extreme high mark because I know how some people view that shit. But either way, I definitely give this an A, probably A minus. And in terms of like numbering, in case anyone's wondering, definitely 9.5 out of 10 for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I give this this episode, but this entire season again 9.5. I think, and to me, I think this is my favorite Marvel Disney Plus show. And also just in terms of where all the characters that they have going into this next season, where the Defenders have to me, they have to show up in this. And then when you're seeing reports about, oh yeah, season 2 we team up with different vigilantes, but that's me questioning if someone who had early screenings of these episodes just try to spoil this finale for you, because
I didn't
want to say anything until you guys saw this episode. But like this is where we're heading. Like I hope we see Jessica Jones and Luke Cage and everything, even Iron Fist if we can for a brief moment, whatever. But like, yeah, Jessica Jones though. But like, can you understand? That's gonna bring an era for, at least I know just for you and me. But like for me, I was in high school when those shows were coming out, right? So that was like one of the talk of the town during binging that weekend. Hey, it's Marvel streaming weekend. Hey, make sure on Monday we go. All of us from school come back and like, hey, you saw this weekend? You finished all the episodes? Yeah, and then now we'll talk about it. But to see those characters come back, in this setting, I don't know. It'll be emotional. I don't know, like to see those characters again, because that's bring an era back of my youth, and stuff like that, right? Again, it was 10 years ago almost, right?
Jesus Christ, we're old.
Oh no, you're no. But my knees hurt. Anyway, but aside from that, we just did this recording immediately right after the episode. Make sure you subscribe button, comment, like, and share. We got a ton of new videos and interviews and stuff coming up. Again, this is a big weekend going to new film Sinners as well from Michael B. Jordan and stuff. Make sure to look out for that review, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.